Yes, we are very fortunate that we have been blessed and been able to be a blessing to others because of those blessings. My grandmother, before she died, she gave us money to help us to buy our first home. And then she left us money that we were able to provide college for our children and help them with good starts to their careers and lives. So we've been very blessed by others.
Prior generations have certainly done what they need to do to be blessed to bless us and pass it along. Walking in this morning, we walked right by the bike repair shop and a couple gentlemen discussing exactly how to solve a problem and fix a bicycle. And it's the first time I'd actually seen them in action because I don't make it here on Saturdays very often. But I mentioned to them that when I have more time that I want to pitch in and help with that. Those kinds of things that help others in our community are just certainly ways to give back and to bless others.
I agree. And another reason we were drawn here was all the environmental efforts that we see that the church provides. Just amazing how people are always looking at how they can improve the river, how they can improve quality of life for those around the church and in the community.
I think when something happens to you that is small or large and you benefit from it in some way, that it matters to take a minute and pause and think about how or why that happened. Sometimes you can relate it to something that you've done in the past to give. Many times you can't. And I think just for everybody to realize that those things happen to you for a reason, because of what you're doing or the life you're living or the lives that your generations before you have lived. And I think it's easy to overlook those simple, small things that happen to us each and every day and not think about how that had been guided by God's hands in some way. This is Proverbs 11, verse 25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Very simple, short verse, but definitely something that's easy to think about when you're blessed.
Yes. We have countless times in our marriage and lives where we have felt like we didn't know how we were going to make that payment, or we weren't going to how are we going to put 2 children through college, or how are we going to afford a home or pay a bill, get an unexpected big bill, and then we would get that exact amount to us. We would still do pay all of the things we need to pay, and we had promised we'd pay a certain amount to the church and we would still pay that amount, but then we have never not been able to pay our bills. It's just, it's only God. There's no other answer to it. But I also feel it's very important, clearly, to give financially, but it's super important to give of your time and talents. And we have had numerous people pour into our lives that have shaped us and our children. When I was young, I lost my parents, and we had dear friends that I met in college that took me basically into their home. They had Christmas presents under their tree for me that year because I didn't have anybody. And there are just numerous times that we've had a dear friend come and help us paint our home, or I don't know, Carl helps people all the time and he helps them, and next thing you know, they're helping us with our dock or whatever it happens to be. We're very, very blessed in so many ways because of that generosity that's been shown to us how to do for others.
I think a good friend of ours that we actually knew before we got married and continue to know to this day is always looking for ways to help others, and not just people that he knows in his community, but friends like us. He'll come and visit. He lives up in North Florida, but he won't come and visit unless we have a to-do list for him. So once we have that list and we show it, he's like, all right, I'll be there in 6 weeks, get your tools ready. And he has done so many different things just around the last, probably 3, we've lived in 4 different houses since we've been married. And at every house, he's done numerous things, whether it's doing some rewiring, hanging ceiling fans, painting the house, putting in new doors. He's an electrician, he's a this, that, and the other. And every time we get done with something, I think, wow, that was just amazing. Saved us a lot of money, of course. I learned a few things. He's just so skilled at everything he does. And I want to help other people do that. One of my neighbors was talking about repainting his house recently, and I said, let me know. I've been through it on mine, and I'd love to help you with it. And I think just seeing those examples of somebody and then the satisfaction they get out of it makes me think about doing it myself.
Church of the Resurrection exemplifies love God and love your neighbor.
Yeah, come to the Church of the Resurrection. It is a feeling when you walk in that you're part of the family. The event after church and getting to socialize is just amazing. You get to learn about people and their lives and how they're helping others, and you feel inspired by it.